Hello everyone, welcome to Morning English. This is Colin.
Hello everybody, this is Cecilia. 欢迎大家收听早安英文。
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
Colin, you seemed a little down today.
Yeah, well, I always get a little down at this time of year. It would have been my father's birthday, but, he's passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. He passed away a long time ago, in 1999. But, I always think about him on his birthday. His funeral was very nice. It was good to see so many people come to the viewing, too.
Viewing? What is a viewing?
Well, maybe we can talk about funerals and related things today. It would make me happy to think about my old man.
Great, let's do it. 那刚刚说的这个 viewing 是什么呢？有些什么讲究？那接下来我们就一起来看一看。So you call your father old man?
No, I never called him that. I referred to him as my old man. It's a term of endearment, like saying, it's my old man's birthday tomorrow.
啊，就像我们有时候也会在别人面前很亲昵地提到自己的爸爸，对吧？重庆话是不是叫老汉儿？粤语叫楼导，还有人说什么老爹呀、老头子啊什么的。那像这种爱称、昵称就叫做 term of endearment.Do you also say my old woman to reference your mother?
Well, actually, it would be my old lady, and you definitely do not use that if your mother has any chance to know that you have. This is a good way to have your mother kill you.
So,
Well, when people get a little older, they will start to reference their husband as my old man and their wife as my old lady.
这就让我想到那个著名语言艺术家赵本山老师和宋丹丹的一个小品。我叫白云，我叫黑土，这是我老公，这是我不能乱说不能乱说。So, wives think that's okay?
Not usually, but, men are more afraid of their mothers than their wives. Now, you had asked me how long is a viewing?
Right.
Well, a viewing is usually only for a few hours on the day or day before the funeral, but it's different for every religion. So I'm just going to talk about what most people do that are not very religious.In the West, there are religions from all over the world, and each has a different way of doing funerals and weddings. So I'm going to talk about what's standard in the West for a non-religious family, like my family.
那这里就体现出了一些东西方文化的差异啊。在美国呢，正式埋葬之前有一个环节叫做 viewing， 就是我们说的瞻仰遗容。它呢，通常是在葬礼当天或者前一天进行的。Okay, so where does this viewing take place?
Okay, well, it can take place in the home, the person's home, but usually it's done at a funeral parlor, which is also called a funeral home. A funeral home is a place where a dead body is taken after the hospital releases it.
就是我们说的殡仪馆，对吧？用 funeral parlor 或者说 funeral home 都可以。
The head of the funeral home is called a mortician.And the mortician and his or her assistants prepare the body for the funeral and the burial and the viewing.
那 mortician 就是我们说的殡葬从业者，也叫做入殓师。那有一个日本电影就是讲主角从事这个职业的心路历程，特别的感人。So, what do they do to prepare the body?
Well, they remove all the internal organs and blood and embalm the body, which means to preserve it. They use some kind of special fluid. Each funeral home has their own recipe, and it's usually a secret.
Embalm 就是指对尸体进行防腐处理。那这个词呢，它有两部分组成，前半部分的 em 就是施加，后半部分的 balm 就是香料的意思，合起来就是涂以香料。 那因为通常啊，就是用一些特殊的香料这些物质对尸体进行处理，以达到这个防腐的目的的。
You know, they also use like makeup to make the body look, well, you know, sort of good for the viewing. The family picks the clothes, and the funeral parlor has special makeup artists to make, you know, the body look nice.
So who goes to the viewing? Is it just family?
No, actually, it's anybody. There are announcements, something like, viewing is from 2 to 5 Saturday afternoon. And then people come at any time within those hours.
Do people arrive early?
Oh, no. It's bad manners to come early without them, the family, asking you to. And also, you don't bring anything. You know, there are 2 types of viewing. An open casket, where you can see the person, and a closed casket, where you cannot see them. The box that the person will be buried in is called a casket, and they are very expensive. The average casket costs $2,000 to $5,000 and is made with metal or cheaper wood. But the more expensive ones can be well over $10,000.
Wow, that's so expensive. 原来不只是买房贵啊，连买棺材也这么贵。那刚刚 Colin 在说棺材的时候用的是 casket 这个词，就相当于 coffin。它还分为开放式和非开放式的。开放式呢，是可以直接透过棺材看见逝者的仪容的。
Yeah, an average funeral with burial costs, it's more than $7,000. With cremation, a bit cheaper, about $6,000.
Wow. Now I understand why some people say they can't afford to die. 火葬也就比土葬便宜了$1000啊，还是很贵的。那火葬英文我们叫做 cremation.
Yeah, well, because it's so expensive to die, people usually have some kind of insurance to at least cover the costs of the funeral and burial. Now, some people, if it's financially feasible, will pay for their funeral ahead of time so that their family's not burdened by these costs.
Financially feasible 这个短语的使用频率也很高啊，就是经济上可行的。So then there's the burial.
Well, funeral first. Now, this usually happens in a church, even if the family is not religious.
Why?
Well, you know, it could be any big space, like a town hall or a school or something, but a church is perfectly set up to have a funeral, and it adds to the seriousness of the situation.
Oh, I see. People behave differently in a church, even if they're not religious. They respect that other people are religious and behave accordingly.
Exactly. Also, you can rent the space and time like any other place.
So what is done at a funeral?
Well, family and close friends will come up to the front and tell stories about the person who died. Some sad, but often there are humorous stories told as well. The main thing is to remember the person.
这个又让我想到了一部电影《非诚勿扰2》。我印象非常深刻的呢，就是孙红雷那个角色去世前给自己办了一个追悼会，不能说是追悼会哈，应该叫做告别会。那虽然大家发言都是在开玩笑啊，损他，但其实这种笑中带泪的氛围尤其的动人。So then is the burial?
Yes. Often everyone travels straight from the church to the cemetery in a funeral procession.
Do people do anything special at the burial?
Well, different cultures deal with it in different ways, but in a non-religious family, everyone just watches as the casket is lowered into the grave. Often people will throw flowers onto the casket, and then the grave is filled and everybody leaves.
那到这儿就算尘归尘，土归土了哈。And that's all, right?
Yeah, it's over. But another important thing is how the guests dress for the funeral and burial. Everyone wears black. Men in suits, and women usually in dresses or skirts, but very modestly dressed, of course.
So is there a particular date when people visit their family members, like China has with 清明节?
Oh, no. You know, a lot of people will go on Mother's Day or Father's Day to visit their parents. In my family, we always went to visit on their birthdays. My mother would go to visit my father on their anniversary day, and always alone. We kids were not invited. But of course, you can visit at any time when you are available. I think it's a good way, but maybe it's just because I'm used to it.
Yeah, I think people must have their own comfortable way to do this, just as they have their own way to get on with the deceased when they were still alive. 那在说逝者、已故者的时候呢，我们可以用 deceased 做名词来指代。By the way, do you feel better now talking about this?
Yeah, actually I do. I guess it does help to talk with someone when you feel down instead of keeping everything inside.
是这样的，希望大家也是哈，无论是对远方亲人的思念啊，还是工作生活的压力啊，在沮丧的时候，记得要和关心你的人聊一聊。People do care， 他会想听的。
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
So, thank you so much for listening. This is Colin.
This is Cecilia. See you next time.
Bye.